And welcome back for round 3, game 1. In this particular game we've got Matthew on the left playing Zoo, and now it's sort of more of a mid-range Zoo. And we've got Trent on the right playing what he described to me, and I don't know the deck list of what he said was a modern Death and Taxes.
Now, I have recently seen a modern Death and Taxes list. I believe Frank Lepore featured it in one of his video articles.
Ah, very nice.
Now, Trent's not the type to take an exact list and copy it. He's going to put his own, do his own thing with it. So we'll see how close, see what he's doing with it.
And Trent's come out with a turn 1 Ether Vial.
And that's a turn 1 Figure of Destiny from that there.
Yeah, as I said, it's more of a mid-range Zoo rather than your Goblin Guide, and it plays a Figure of Destiny in there to give it more later game. I'm not going to say late game because Zoo doesn't traditionally have a late game, but later game than anything else.
Trent's playing a turn 2 Thalia, which makes non-creature spells cost 1 more, and she's also a 2-mana 2/1 first strike. Now the ability is the taxing ability isn't going to do much in this matchup because Zoo normally plays creatures, but the first strike, the 2/1 first strike, could be a decent ability.
Well, the first strike would certainly hurt, I think, against the Figure of Destiny. It'll stop it from attacking for quite a while.
Yeah, when does Figure of Destiny becomes a 2/2 for 1 mana?
So, and that'll still not want to attack into the Thalia. We've got a Curd Ape coming out there as well. With the Stomping Ground out, that's automatically a 2/3. So that can certainly stop the Thalia from doing anything in particular.
That's a very efficient 2/3. Now, is that a Dryad Militant that Trent's flashing out with his Ether Vial, I believe?
So not the best card against Zoo because it doesn't traditionally use its graveyard.
But it's still a 2/1.
Still a 2/1. So it certainly stops the early game of Zoo.
Yes, and the fact that he basically got it for free because of his Ether Vial does help. He was able to get some tempo there.
Ether Vial, a very strong card when it was played in Modern.
Now that's a Leonin Arbiter.
Sorry, back in Standard with Mirrodin Block. It was played with Goblins way back then. It's the Leonin Arbiter.
Yep. Players can't search libraries. Any player may pay 2 for that player to ignore this effect until end of turn. Now, if I can talk about Magic Online briefly, that card is super awkward on Magic Online because the way that the ability is worded means that you have to activate it before you use the search library ability.
Oh, interesting.
So you have to actually click on it and pay the 2 mana. If you try to do it, it won't offer you to pay the 2. So if you try to crack a fetch, you just miss out on doing it because you didn't click on the Arbiter first.
So this is very much a Hate Bears type deck.
Essentially.
Very similar to in essence, to the Mono White Enchantments that was being played the round before. Just trying to stop your opponent from doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and the reason why it's called Death and Taxes is you've got a lot of tax cards, a lot of sort of cards that are messing with some strategies, but they're on the bodies of efficient creatures. But
now,
you also, I don't know if Trent's actually playing black in this list, but you also have death. You have killing things.
Now, Matt here has come out with a Lightning Helix to the Thalia, paying 3 for that Lightning Helix, and then attacking with the Curd Ape and the Figure of Destiny.
And Trent's flashed in another Arbiter to help take out the Curd Ape.
The Curd Ape.
Now that's the power of Ether Vial, being able to just flash in a creature.
And so from that exchange, Matt is left unfortunately without a board, and Trent still with his 2/2 arbiter that can come through and attack this turn, which certainly does there.
Now, are they using the dice to adjust their life totals there?
It certainly doesn't look like it, does it? Oh, hang on, I could be wrong. Spoke too soon. Matt's down to 17. And Trent's come out with
Is that
another Dryad?
Yeah,
Bit of glare off the card there. Hopefully when we get the overhead camera happening, that will
there'll be some less glare.
It'll end up with a lot less glare.
We can look forward to that in the new year. Oh, there's a Vexing Devil. I always liked that card ever since I've seen it, but I've never personally played it myself. It's always a card that I got them so I could play, but I just never did it.
One of the interesting things I found with Vexing Devil is this version of Zoo plays 2 Hushwing Griffs in the main. And if you've got Hushwing Griff out and then you play the Vexing Devil, they don't get the opportunity to pay for. You just get a 4th 3 for 1.
I really like that. That's a nice little interaction. It looks like Trent's coming in with a Dryad, but it's being bolted. That's a kitchen fix. I apologise. He must have flashed that in with the Ether Vial.
Yeah, so he flashed the kitchen finks in with the Ether Vial. We're a bit behind the game here. Matt decided to lightning bolt that.
Yep. Now kitchen fix has persist, which means that when it dies it re-enters the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter if it didn't already have one. And it also enters the battlefield effect of gaining 2 life. And Trent's playing a Blade Splicer there. So it looks like he did that in response to putting a counter on his Ether Vial, which I like. You don't see that Trent's one of the stronger players in Bendigo, and it's little interactions like that. And yeah, it just looks like Matt's skipping.
I think Matt's decided